Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. Boy, when it comes to building materials, they provide it to the biggest contractors all over Tennessee. They also provide building materials, building tools, and their expertise and advice to you. All you have to do is drop by, call, or visit them online. They provide for you in terms of the do-it-yourself project. And unlike some of the big box stores where you go in and get it and then you get home and it's like, I don't know how to use this, they're right there to help you. They're a great company. This country is not quite 250 years old. They've been around for 100 years. So that's a pretty good track record. That's a pretty good track record when you look at it in that perspective. A.G. Hines Company. All right. Mark Pankratz is going to be over at the YP board, and I want to talk to you about the fact that this Tennessee team, we talked earlier, about 3 weeks ago, it ranked 38th, I think, in the nation in terms of offensive efficiency. So not as good as defense. It's still 1 or 2 in defensive efficiency, but 38th on offense. This skid that they had been on before yesterday dropped them to number 70 in the Ken Pomeroy rankings. So that is a huge dip in a 3-game span. Mark, explain to us what happened and how to get around it.
Yeah, so if you look up here, and it's like Christmas morning being back up drawing diagrams and stuff from back in the day. But if you look at our offense, you'll hear Barnes talk a bunch about wanting to play through the post. You see oftentimes Fulkerson, if he's down here in this short corner area, want to get him the ball. One, our offense starts with the way that we transition from defense to offense. We've got to rebound, and one of the things that we've gotten away from is that advance pass. So if we get the rebound, advance pass it up, because that put pressure on our defense quicker, which then defense, which is the X, they get closer to the rim, which now if they're closing out on drivers, they're closing out under control, and it gives shooting opportunities. So we got to advance pass. When we do, what's been happening is we get the ball in, and if we're making a pass, we pass it into Fulkerson, he's got the ball. Well, the way we've been shooting the basketball, our X's, so if you got Eve Pons over here, we put Jaden Springer over here, Vescovi, Keon Johnson. They're all hugged up on Fulkerson. One of the differences last night was Fulkerson in pass would have to dribble it. He wanted to dribble to get closer to the rim. He was not squaring up and knocking down any jump shots. So defense, there was no space for him to go. Then if he passes it out, we're not shooting the basketball well. Last night, faced up, makes some jump shots. So what we're typically doing, if Keon passes it in, he cuts, Vescovi fills, trying to get a shooter, Vescovi, our second best three-point shooter, to get an opportunity here because these guys don't communicate. Pons here, Jaden Springer come here. Again, this defense trying to get them to move. Well, if we're not shooting the basketball well, the defense is staying locked in on Fulkerson, making it impossible for him to get a clean shot. So Pons being able to shoot, Jaden Springer shooting 56% from 3 was a huge difference. So now if we come over here, if you look now with guys being able to shoot, now Keon Johnson who's cut through, you got Vescovi here, Fulkerson here, Jaden Springer here, Pons over here. Pons make jump shots, opened up the offense. But the big thing with Jaden Springer, if we reverse the ball, now Jaden gets the basketball. He's our best driver. Last night he forced 8 fouls. He drove the basketball, put the defense on their heels, forced 8 fouls. We shoot 16 for 17 from the free throw line. And his ability to make the jump shot. Now if defense closes out, Eve Pons is wide open. So the fact that John Fulkerson was willing to face up, knock down a couple jump shots, our offense was moving better, and the difference of Jaden Springer being in there, his versatility to either make that jump shot, attack a guy closing out on him that is not under control, gets in and gets other people wide open shots. And at the end of the day, to what Jimmy said earlier, if we make jump shots, we're going to win a lot of basketball games when you pair it up with this elite defense.
Good deal. Let me ask you this. Tennessee beats Kansas. Now you're on the road at 8-8 Ole Miss. You're on the road against Kentucky's 5-10. Is this going to be one of those weeks where fans are saying, how do you beat Kansas and then lose to Ole Miss? What are your thoughts about Tennessee going on the road against Ole Miss and Kentucky? Their records aren't great, but it's college basketball. Anything can happen. Talk to me about those matchups.
Well, I think, again, I've said it last week, I think that this team playing the way that we know how to play, Vince mentioned it, if we guard Ole Miss the way that we guarded Kansas and guarding that ball screen action, the dribble drives, and keeping people out of the paint and then control our rebounding, we're going to have a chance to win this basketball game. It starts with this team. Nobody in this league, even Kentucky this year, has the talent and the depth that Tennessee has. So if we do what we're supposed to do, we'll win both these basketball games.
Very good. Mark Pancratz, thank you very much as always. We'll see you right back here next week. When we come back, we have 3 VFLs still waiting in the wings to join us. One of them comes up next. We're going to start talking about the search, how it went, where it went, and how it landed on Josh Heupel. Come on back on the Sports Source.